How many of you have learned something? Fabulous. Freaking fabulous. I'm glad as well that my son and daughter are here, Bella and Nick. Sometimes they tell me, "Hey, Dad, did you hear?" It's a horrible sentence to start because you know it's not going to be good. And when I think back, I mean, this last year was tough for me, 5. But when I think back, when I first came across mental health, it was with my best friend, David, in the U.S. And David is a Guatemalan. I'm obviously from Peru. And he said to me, do me a favor, come with me. I really don't think I'm getting along well with my girlfriend, and I kind of want to break it off. And basically he was saying he's too scared. You wanted someone there. I said, yeah, sure. And we went there, and this girl, lovely girl, lived on her own. Lived with her mother. The mother was working, so she was in the house alone, and we had this chat, and I was waiting downstairs as he was talking with this girl, and I could hear screaming and all this ruckus, and I go up there, and she tried to commit suicide. Yeah, I was 16. In your face. And didn't know what to do. So first thing that came to my mind was, let's go to the hospital. No, my mother will kill me. We can't go there. So I'm looking at David, and he's looking at me. I'm looking at David. David's looking at me, back and forth. And, we're both South American Catholics, and we go, a priest. Let's take her to a priest. So we put her in the car, and we drove to the local church, Little Flower in Bethesda, and as luck would have it, it was a fresh priest straight out of the seminary. And his face just said it all. His first question, are you Catholic? Nothing at all to do with it. And I sort of jest with it, but it's indicative of when we do confront this and when we do come across this, it's in your face. And a lot of us just don't really know what to do. And as I said, if you hadn't had a look, with my good friends Celeste and Run Partners, we started a website, and we put a video, and Phil Snow helped graciously with the video, and in that I'm saying that if I look back, would I really have felt empowered enough to engage? And the truth is, no, I couldn't, because I was afraid. I didn't know which way was up. I didn't know white between black and white. I was just a haze. And so that's when I decided to really embark on this journey of education. And I learned a lot. And the one thing that really stuck out to me was what my good friend Margot mentioned, is a simple question. Are you having suicidal thoughts? Now that's so counterintuitive, but it's so indicative of the stigma. Academics tell us that's perfectly good. Do that. They may not answer. In fact, they probably won't. But as Margot said, is you go back and I'm here. And that is when I learned the difference between sympathy and empathy. And put it simply, sympathy is something we give. Empathy is something we share. Subtle, but major difference in the words. So Margot was a huge help, and those at Super Friends were a huge help. And if you hadn't had a look at the website, here's where I do the plug. Please have a look at www.prob.org.au. Amongst seeing the video and issues on tonight, you'll see this prop tutorial. And prop tutorial is a 4-part series over 2 months, so once a fortnight, where the aim is not to make you a counselor. Let's face it, 4 emails isn't going to make anyone a counselor. But perhaps 4 emails will dent the stigma, will get you to ask yourself, shit, I was wrong. My knowledge of my awareness was wrong. I can't engage. Because you know what really scares me about this issue of mental health is the inability to engage, the lack of power. So the goal, I hope, if you do join me on this journey, the goal is to feel empowered, to not feel scared, to engage with a friend, a loved one, a colleague. Are you okay? Are you having suicidal thoughts? I'm here to help. So please, have a look. Join me on this journey. It's an incredible journey. It really is. What I've learned is beyond belief. And with my friends, we created this 4-part tutorial. It's not a lot. We all have busy lives, I get it. No one's going to ask you for any information. No one's going to ask you for any money. The only thing we ask is your time to unlearn the stigma. Because together, we can make a difference. Individually, no chance. The fact that you're here means you share a desire to want to do something. So please follow through. Go into the website prop.org.au when you get a chance, enroll. And the tutorial will be, as I said, 4 parts. Starts off with a 10-question multiple choice. And then the 4-part tutorial. Then, of course, the same 10 questions to see how you went. And then the pay it forward concept. You know the movie Pay It Forward? Great movie. And the pay it forward concept is, can you please help by naming 4 other people who you think will benefit? A movement is created and you're in the room. You're in the room. When you look back and you say, did I make a difference? Today is the day you make a damn difference. Today is the day you join me in this journey. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. We can make a difference. We don't need to keep on losing so many people to suicide. What you may not know, these numbers are 3,000. That may be underestimated by 5 times because coroners have a hesitation of writing down the true cause. Think about that. Think of the numbers. That's huge. Okay. Gather my thoughts. I want to, before I present, introduce the next people, I want to tell you about this amazing young man, courageous, articulate, soulful. And it was my friend Gemma Archer introduced me, hey, have a look at this video. And it was a speech of Xavier Eels when he graduated from Riverview. He was the Ducks. If you hadn't go to Vimeo, look up Xavier Eels. He's the nephew of John Eels. And look at his presentation that he gave to his classmates. And he starts off the presentation to the whole school. And, he says, I have something to confess. I want to come forward. And in front of his classmates, he spoke of depression. He spoke how he had depression. What a courageous thing to do. Think about it. I mean, at 18, I couldn't do that. And I think I have big ones, but he did it. And one of the things that really stuck in my mind was when he said in his presentation, when he was going through this really dark moment, and it relates to what Graham said as well. He was sitting at a park bench relating and just contemplating issues, and he gets a text from his father, who was a great man himself, and he said, Save, you promised me that when you had these dark moments, you would come to me. And while he's sitting on this park bench, he is opening up to his father via text. And then it's sort of, when discussing with my friends, it really realized that, so I reached out to my friend Lindy, who works with Lifeline, and then she introduced me to Adam Check from Lifeline. And to my surprise, there wasn't an app, a B2C app, that I mentioned before. So if you look at your mobile, if you were able to register on entry, and you would hopefully have received a text from our friends from Telstra. And what that will do is, thanks to Xavier and his speech, is flowed through to a discussion that we had with Telstra to create a text app that goes directly to the call center. I won't say more. I'll let them show you what it does. And if you were able to give your mobile, you'll see from your smartphone what this will do. And more importantly, as you're looking at it, stop and think about the number of lives that speech that Xavier gave is now going to save, because it flowed through ultimately to an idea that was posed to Telstra, who grabbed it and created something really cool.